Well, all right. I think we're ready to go. So, just a couple people in here so far. Well, maybe nobody. I got zero up there, but I do see Shady Grady and Aquarium Fantasy. Hello, hello. Uncle Smiley, so good to see you out of the hospital and back where you belong. Squatchy was here. Don't know if he's still here. So, yeah, I'm just going to be rambling on for a while, I guess. I've been missing my last two Fridays, so I just kind of figured, hey, Chew, um, I'd just sit here and talk with you a little bit. You're not here? Dang it. I hate it when you're not here. Um, quite a bit happened over the last little bit. Since the last time I streamed, I know I went on Saturday last week. Don't even know what we talked about. Got back from Tennessee, did some work out there. Pretty sure we talked about that, right? Maybe. And so the biggest thing right now is my Friday morning stream is probably done, and I'm going to move to Saturday at 2. I just have too many projects going on right now, and every one of them costs me 2 grand or more. So I picked up a side hustle. Hey, Kevin. Um, just I'm splitting wood on Fridays, so that's going to be taking up my Friday spot. I kind of liked it there, but it is what it is. So we're going to move to. I already had uh, Fish Family move me. Hey, Jenna, Denny, what's going on, buddy? Xanadu. Uh, they already moved me over to my new slot. Took me off of Friday, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, we'll see what kind of crowd is on a Saturday morning, afternoon, I guess, afternoon, 2 o'clock, same time as today, only tomorrow, yesterday, normally. I was just involved with two different drafts for the fantasy football with Chattanooga Ed. So, hey, Andy, couldn't do it yesterday. I mean, I could have, but then I would have been a jerk by not showing up when I said I would. So that's the big announcement for the most part. There's nothing really wrong. I gave up my Friday off to earn some money on the side so I can get some of these. I have to get some dirt spread or delivered and then spread in the backyard because I just put in a whole new septic back there. And to do that, they totally destroyed. Hey, Steven, totally destroyed my backyard. And they told me when they did it not to do anything too quick. Hey, June, because depth charge, what's going on? It will settle, and it definitely is settling. There's parts in there where I bet you it sank 2 feet. So yeah, I've got one load of dirt delivered, and I'm looking for two more probably, and we'll get that spread. I got to get my deck fixed. I don't know if I've shown any pictures of that, but to get the septic in, they had to put in like an additional tank that has a uplift thing or other. And I used to know what that terminology was, but I've already forgotten, mostly because the red light came on. But anyway, it needs power, so they needed to hook up to the house, which meant they went right through my deck. So all the deck boards got pulled off. And then we thought we had a dead. Hey, geek, what's going on, bud? We thought we had a dead possum in the window well, which was completely covered by the deck. And so I had to cut a hole out there. Turns out she was alive and fine. We pulled her out, thought there was two babies. The lady that came and got her texted me back saying, nope, nope, I'm wrong. There's 12. They were just clinging to her when we pulled her out. We totally didn't see them. So that was a thing. I've got a pile of trees. Hey, Zenny. Um, a pile of trees and brush down in Tennessee that I had pushed into a giant pile because we had 2 acres, roughly 2.5 acres cleared for the future site of our retirement home. And yeah, so it's a pile that's probably as big as a regular house, I would say. I didn't measure it, but it's at least as big as my house and almost as tall. So we were picking at it. Hey, Babs, how we doing? Yeah, so we were picking at it all day on a Saturday, burning it as we went. And we put like I don't even know if we could officially call it a dent. Adele, what's going on? And Wendy? Wow, there's a lot of people here on a Saturday or Sunday. I didn't know that there'd be anybody. So yeah, I talked to a fire chief down there for a municipality nearby, and he said he can do it, and that's going to cost me 20 or $2,000. The two backyard's $2,000. Deck is about 4,500. I had to let Friday go so that I could make a little extra money. Yeah, tell him, Sonny. You tell him. Hit that like button. So that was my big announcement. I'm going to be backing off at Friday, and if it's still available down the road, once I get all this stuff done, maybe I'll move back. We'll see. If this time yesterday on a Saturday works for everybody, I might just keep it right on here. Nathan Hovey, what's going on, bud? Hey, I don't know if anybody has told you, Nathan, but I have watched your last 2 or 3 Vanoski, 2 or 3 videos, and your sound is the volume is very low, very, very low. Probably like this one. Hold, please. I got the shenanigan group on Friday mornings getting that. I will try it. I was just done mowing. Oh, I might have a co-host here. We'll see. Yeah, so that's what's going on outside the fish den. Inside the fish den, I have done some things. I've got I know I've brought it up in the past, but this here, am I going to go the right way? Yeah. That 150 sprung a leak right down in here, right there. And I could see where the caulk is pulling away. And my neighbor his dad used to own a glass shop, and they made many a tank. So I asked him, do you think you got one more reseal in you? Because, he hasn't been in it in a decade or, pardon me. And he said, I should be able to do it. So he's going to come over here and pull the caulk out of the inside and re-caulk it for me, see how that goes. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? It leaks, right? It's already leaking. So, Sketty. Hey, Sketty. And Bambi, how you doing? Thank you so much for your comment the other day on Ohio Fish Rescue. That was very nice of you. So we're going to give that a shot. And then maybe I can get that one up and running and get some of my fish separated. And then I'm sure I've showed you this before. That's my very nasty, dirty office. this right here is the stand that my 210 used to be on. I'm going to cut that down to 4 feet instead of 6 and put a 120 high on that I got from Ohio Fish Rescue. And it's going to go right over here. And once that happens, then that will be, no, that'll be a 150. I apologize. The 150 is going to go here. And then a 150 where the other one already is. So it'll be 150, 210, 150. And it'll be a Asian and Central America. That'll be Central America. This is South America. That'll be Asian. And then I actually got my 130 up and running, which I think I had last week, but I was having some trouble last week with. Tell me if you've ever had this happen to you. That's my little 40, my smallest tank in the room. Can you see that? I'm using a reflection in the mirror or in the glass. That had some nasty calcium all built up right in the front panel under the water line, not above the water line like you would get if it was splashing and drying and stuff up there and evaporating. It was under the water line, and it was like concrete. It was terrible. I went out and I bought 100 of these, well, 4 of these, and then 100 of these guys. They're little plastic razor blades. And it was all I could do. It was all I could do to get it off enough where it wasn't a distraction. So I filled that up. The back is painted. You probably saw, maybe you didn't. I don't know if the angle was right or not, but there was a underground. It came with an undergravel filter. And upon listening to John and Jason on their podcast, if you're not listening to their podcast, you really ought to be. They are good together. They really don't like the undergravel, and maybe some of you guys here can spin it in a positive light, but I have never had a good relationship with them either, other than back in the 80s when that was your best option, really. I hate that all that stuff gets stuck under there and you can't get it out, really. So I think I'll just take it out, and that'll be the African tank. So I have 3 frontoses over there in the quarantine tank. One's a Black Widow, and then 2 are red. Oh my goodness! Starts with the B. Somebody help me. What's the B? What kind of frontoses are they? Starts with B. Burundi? Burundi. So 2 are red Burundi. And then, of course, the Black Widow is a variant from the Burundi. And then I'm just going to pick up, I'm going to show you some pictures here real quick, since I wasn't smart enough to put it on the computer. I'll do a Chattanooga Ed style share with you. And hopefully there's nothing naughty on there. So these are, yeah, that's not going to show up where yeah. But yeah, these are going to be my dither fish types. I'm going to get like rock dwellers and whatnot. Why you'll no move? Nope, wrong way. So that's the Kelvis. I like the Kelvis. Daffodil is pretty cool. Whoop. No. Oh. The convict, Julie. I like that guy too. Why is that so big? Stop being big. You guys can't see these pictures at all. You'll have to look them up. But all these pictures came off of, if I can find that guy, that would be cool. These are all Lake Tanganyika. Well, Piranha. But these were all taken at the Chattanooga aquarium when I went and saw Ed down there a couple weeks ago. Yeah, the light is really washing them out, but they are very pretty fish. This is the only guy I can't find, somewhere available. So anybody has a light on him, let me know. Asaya, what's going on? So did I miss? Oh, Miss Dee Dee's in the house. Hi, Miss Dee Dee. And J Rock. J Rock. Who else did I miss? Anybody? Saw you. Let me see if you guys had any questions. I'm going to scroll back a little bit here. Yeah, I just use my phone, no mic. Oh, okay. That's all. No, that's not what I do. I almost lied right to your face. I was going to say that's what I do, but it's not what I do. Although I have used my phone plenty. I've been trying to be quiet, so I stopped getting yelled at by the wife because I'm a loud person. Me too. Yep, I get yelled at that a lot. And then at the same time, they're always saying, "What? Why you gotta be so loud? What? Make up your dang mind." So then we just got a lot of people saying hi. And I don't know if I'd go there. The 40 is your largest? Yeah, I'm hoping to get rid of that one and put a 65 high there. It's the same footprint, except for it's 25 inches tall, which will match the 90 over on the left of the what will be African tank, and the 130 is 25 inches tall. So if I can get 65, they'd all match. Jesus. They'd all be 25 inches tall and 18 inches deep, which would be kind of cool. The only differences are one's 4 foot, side to side, one's 6, and one's going to be 3. Calcium is gross. It's gross because it was like concrete on there. I didn't get it. I mean, I know I get calcium if I let the tanks, they evaporate and they pick that crap up. But geez, while it's underwater, I don't know if anybody's ever had that before. I've asked a couple different. I asked Jason this morning. He's like, "Nope, don't know what the hell you're talking about." I asked the other Jason Adams from Primetime. He's like, "That's weird." Shady says citric acid. I might give that a go because, again, that one has had the same problem. It's empty now, and I worked at it for 2 days. Oh, well, yeah, roughly 2 days. I was working for my first log splitting gig after my doctor's appointment on Friday, but then I came home and I worked on it all night. Well, in between working in the ACE network is back on, ACE SE with Kenny E and the gang. So, but they go on late, so I had quite a bit of time to play with it, and it's cleaner. But I would imagine if we're going to be recaulking it, resealing it, it's going to be going to have to be a lot cleaner than that. So Passing Wind says they love their under gravel filter. Tell me why. Wendy, tell me why. I'm better, other than I still have a little no taste or smell. I have never had smell. I tell people that all the time. I say I can stink as bad as the next guy, but I can't smell. In fact, just today, because I'm trying to cut out carbs, I'm eating mostly meat. And it was morning, and I went upstairs and I said, Mamacita, how about you fry up some bacon for me? And she looked at me like, really? She opened the opened the stove, and there was a sheet of bacon in there. And had I been able to smell, I would have known that and not bothered her. But I didn't know. All the Talk podcast links. Yes, people, I'm serious. If you're not watching that, it's very good. The two of them work very well together. Glad to hear you're doing better, Stephen. Yep, I'm glad to hear that too. And I assume Jenna is as well. I see her in the chat. Even when you're not sick, chicken soup is a good way to go. I don't know what you were referring to there, but I'm sure it was hilarious. Big ass fish. Yeah, Frontosa starts with a B. Since Stephen can't taste, I can just get him a salt lick. I bet you that'd snap him out of it. That's awesome. Just stick him out there with a deer. Working and lurking. He needs nutrients, Jenna. One of these days, Whip, I'm gonna scroll too far and we're gonna see some things. A Whip is going to. Yeah, I can read. My vision isn't even messed up and I messed that up. One of these days, Whip is gonna scroll too far and we're gonna see some things. Yeah, that is always a possibility. I am not that different than Rico in that regard. They have a pretty silhouette. Silhouettos. Jenna, so a salt and vitamin lick. There you go. Problem solved. See, this is the problem with being behind. I don't know what some of these were referring to. What was I talking about, Bambi? My daughter and her husband are COVIDed at the moment too. Sucks to work with the public sometimes, but they're feeling better also. Yeah, that's one of the blessings and the curses that I had to deal with. I was deemed essential, so I was working. I never stopped working, but I was working outside, so I was constantly exposed to people. Because, as you well know, there were plenty of people who didn't believe in COVID, who thought they were immune to COVID, whatever the case may have been. Um, and I ended up catching it like 3 times. It was never bad though, never really bad. The first time was probably the worst. And I made that was before we even knew COVID was a thing. That was in January of 2019. No, not January, December of 2019 into still screwing it up. December of 2019 and January of 2020. I was sick for almost a full 2 months, but never sick enough to miss work. Just sick where I didn't feel good, and it kind of ebb and flow. And so I'd get home and I'd feel like crap, and I'd just go lay down, and then I'd wake up in the morning and I'd feel good enough to go to work and put in 10 hours or 11 or 12 hours, whatever the case was, and come home and then feel like crap and start it all over again. That was probably the worst one. And I remember we were even halfway through February, a week into February, and I was still sick. And we were going to Cancun mid-February, and Mrs. Whip is telling me, "You better get better. I'll leave your ass here," because she wasn't missing out on Cancun. So, needless to say, I sucked it up and we went. But all the symptoms, and then of course in March everything got shut down. So I was never diagnosed, but all the symptoms were there. So I either had a really nasty case of the flu or it was COVID. So how's everybody doing? While I'm reading through chat here, I got to keep paying attention down low just in case somebody pops up. Whip, the one fish that you said you can't get, from what I can see of the picture, reminds me of a ladyfish from the incredible Mr. Limpet. It is actually one of the catfish that a lot of people, it's one of them. It's a Synodontis, multi-punctatus. And then unfortunately, I don't know how to get it to come up without being, there, that's a little better. I should have done that. She's very cool. And, they get a little bit big. So we'll see how it goes long term. But like the convict Julie gets about 5 inches. The daffodil might be a problem because it only gets max 3 inches, but it's a rock dweller, so maybe it'll be able to duck in. The Kelvis is 5.5 inches, so it should be fine. And the you want me to try that one? Indabnoi. The Indabnoi. Oh, come on. You can do it. Maybe you can't. Nope. Anyway, that gets to be about 5 inches. So they should be big enough not to get swallowed, because the Julie gets 5. The lemon cichlid, which is as close as I can get to a drifted, to the yellow lab. I really like the yellow lab, but this is going to be a Lake Tanganyika tank, and obviously they're not from there. So, and they only get 4 inches. So we got some 4 inchers and 3 inchers that, those Frontosa may decide to snack on. But for anybody who follows DIY Joey, he had multis. He had multis, which are shell dwellers. They aren't even hiding in the rocks; they're in shells. In with Frontosa, like a whole group of both. And the Frontosa kind of hung out on one side of the tank, and the Shellies hung out on the other. And just won't leave you be. So hopefully, fingers crossed. And I have multiple tanks I can go to if things start going sideways. Although catching them out of there with the Holy Rock might be a challenge. The little guys, I mean. Come over to the Jenna P side. She has cakes. Grady. Yeah, I love them too. My buddy has them. He hasn't been. Hey, look who's here! I inquired for you. I'll get to you. Hold on a second. I He has some that, and everybody said they're gonna breed like crazy. They're because I think they're a Brichardi, aren't they? Some kind of Brichardi. I'm probably saying that wrong. Maybe they're not. Anyway, I was told that they're going to breed, and his have not. And I think it's because he has multi-species too, and he doesn't hold to the theory that you stick to one lake and go with it. I think he has all three lakes represented. Well, three out of the bunch, the three big ones. Uh, so back to Jeremy. I asked around to a couple people that I know that ship, and they unfortunately use the United States Postal Service, and that's their least hiccupy service. So that doesn't help you at all. Because I believe that's what you said you were using, right? When your two packages going out just vanished into the ether, and the package sent to you was left on the side of the road at your mailbox. That just sucks. I'm glad the plants survived. Too bad about the sharks. So. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. If you could strap something to my face so I could eat all the time, that would be a good thing. I don't care what it is. Minimac, how you doing? Good to see you. Stop on in. Yes, and it was a good interview too. Like Jenny, Jenny just said. She was asking about the flagtail, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm on 99% sure that's what you said it was. I watched you put him in there, so 65 high is a terrible tank for all your plants. Um, my fish den is a terrible place for all my plants, so I'm not going to be down any. Of course, maybe that is my problem, or one of the many problems I have going on here. All the plants that Steven sent me, I have one jungle vale that's clinging to life. I don't remember what the stem plants were, but I planted those in the little cube tank over there, and they all died. There's one survivor that's green and sticking up. Everything else is like black and just turned to dust. If you can picture dust in a wet environment, and they're just I'm like, Jesus. And that's with spring water. That's not even my water. That's water I bought. So yay me. You'll need a stadium spotlight to get light down to the bottom of that. Yeah, you're probably right. And I don't remember what I was planning on doing with the 65. That might be my Native American tank if I go that route, right? Because it's going to be Asian, South American, Central American, small South American species. What am I forgetting? African. There's a continent in there that I'm forgetting. Anyway, I'll remember when I hit the end stream button. That's the plan anyway. I just there's so many things I have. I have too many things, too many oars in the water, and I don't know which one to pull. Seems like it's a domino kind of thing where if I once I get one rolling, I can get the rest of them going. But damn. And we got Alishon. Hey, buddy. Anthony Frank Stissy of SI Cichlids has them on occasion or occasionally. I'll take a look at that. I'll have to remember that. At the 35 mark, 35, 45 mark. Although that's probably wrong. 20 mark. There we go. Zenny, I can't deny the value of convenience. That's what I'm saying. I love that fish too, Zen. He's a gentle giant and pretty. Barkeeper's friend will help get rid of the calcium buildup. Yes, but I don't know that it's like aquarium safe, right? I mean, you have to empty the water and do that whole thing and dry it out and all that. Whereas I only have the one tank that is empty currently. But if that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. Define giant, Zenny. Are you going to build yourself a 4,500 gallon tank too? Bob Taylor, what's going on, buddy? Tell me, why can't this be love? Going old school. No? Well, it's old school Van Halen, but it's new old school Van Halen, right? That was 80, what, 6? I haven't felt good in 2 weeks now. Oh, well, that sucks. Hope you turn that around soon. Bass are kind of cool. They're pretty. I don't know that I'd want one, but they're pretty. The Fluval 3.0 light reaches the plants in my 420. 45-inch tall. Holy crap, 45-inch tall. That's as tall as Ed's 200 that he said is 4 feet. You're like 3 inches short of his. But I imagine that 420's got to be, what, 8 foot? I bet you that's 8 foot. And I do have a Fluval on that particular light, in fact. It's a Fluval 3.0. But it sure doesn't look like it lights up the tank like the rest of the tanks get lit up. I got an aquarium co-op light on that one. I got Stingray Finex's, Finex 2s on the one right here. And a 3.0 over there. And then another aquarium plant light on the cube. Because I was trying like hell to get those plants to grow. They just won't grow. That's a negative, Ghost Rider. Dave's Rare Fish has them. Alishon, I might have to get in touch with you. I don't know where you're finding these guys, but maybe you're just Googling it. I reached out to Jason from Primetime and asked if that was something that he could get. And he said that one he could not. But then he told me that there's a minimum order. And I'm like, ooh, I don't need 100 of them. That would be interesting. Deer corn looks tasty. You know, that's right. Yes, agreed. That was fun. I didn't make the whole thing because I don't even remember. But I was definitely there. Sweet feed, at least. It's coated with vitamin powder. and molasses. Geek, just say random things and Whip will assume you were hilarious. Of course I will, because he is. And because he saved my ass, and I'm forever indebted to him. Thanks for turning me onto this Bambi. Oh, Bambi was nice enough to give me a shout out on Big Rich's stream on Friday. I have cat licks. They stand in the waiting. They stand in line waiting their turn. Okay. I'm surprised. Usually cats are not that patient. Whip, you can also soak paper towels with white vinegar and stick them to the calcium buildup areas. It works great. That's what I'm told. And I might try that, like I said, in the empty tank. I just didn't know how to deal with it in a tank that had, water in it already. It was, there's not much you can do except for scrape on it. And to be honest with you, I was scared to death that I was going to scratch the bejesus out of the tank because that would be about my luck. Cat, Stephen, cat, Stephen. You might have. I'm not saying you didn't. And I am not here to judge anybody what they did or didn't do. I'll be honest with you, I probably wouldn't have done it just because I'm paranoid about the length of time they put into the drug itself. Not so much because I was worried about the government, but when my youngest daughter was forced to take it and my wife was forced to take it, if it went bad, there was no way they were leaving me behind. So if something went sideways, we were all going together. I was not going to get left here without it. So that made my decision very easy. Now she's sad. Half the time, that's all I do anyway. Hey, Bob. Genevieve, send him over. Hey-oh, Eric Wayrock. Wyrock. I know. I can read and talk. I swear I can. Why would they waste money on chips when all carry one? Oh, yeah. On the chip when we all carry them everywhere we go on purpose, right? That's one of the reasons too. I don't worry about the government. They're already in my back pocket, like literally. I've had it served several times too. Damn kids keep bringing it home from school. Yeah, Mitty. I didn't have that problem. I just kept picking it up. I was stopping to get gas, so I had to go, I didn't have to, but many times I had to go in and get a receipt because the company I work for requires a receipt when we fuel up. And when it's cold out, the printers on the pumps don't always work. So there was a lot of that. I was knocking on doors and talking to people, and those masks help, but they are far from foolproof. So. Big facts. 36 watching, 28 likes. Hey, that ain't so bad. 39 watching. So what's Jenna saying? When you were sick for a long time, did you ever go to an ENT? I had to have surgery because I had nasal polyps that were basically holding infections in and keeping me. I did not. I didn't know what it was. It was never that horrible. So I kept thinking, like it'd be bad, and then it would kind of relent, and I thought, okay, I'm better. And then it would like roll back in. And I'm like, well, I don't know what's happening. So, and my nose has never worked. So, if I lost my sense of smell, I wouldn't even know it. 310. What's going on? So let's get through here. All our gizzin needs are now taken care of. I don't know what gizzin is. Gizzing? What's a gizzing? Somebody explain that one to me. That went right over my head. Geek, Eric, saying hi, Alshon. Lilliputians, Lillipui come in various flavors. Nicest are the bright yellow and deep orange. Is that the last one I was showing you? No. Yes, maybe. Yes. Yeah. That is you can't see it because it doesn't really come up, but that is a very yellowy yellow, and it might be orange, just not showing up on my phone, and I don't remember anymore. So while we're discussing weird constant, God damn it, named fish, is it an embu puffer or a mabu puffer or a mbu puffer? Mbu, right? That's how I do it anyway. Mbu, mbu. Or an mbop. Yep, just magical little loves. Mabu. That sounds like you have a injury. Mabu, or your girlfriend maybe. My boo. Stephen, well, now that's absolutely what it is. Thanks for that. I missed it. Oh, okay. I didn't miss it. I even read that. I didn't get it. Stephen's hilarious too. I just don't get it half the time. I'm convinced no one knows how to pronounce most fish names. Yep, that's me. That's why I stick to the common ones. And I struggle with them sometimes. Mbuna and Mabu. I don't know if I say the Mbu, Mabu, Mbu. I don't know if I've ever said it out loud. In my head, it's Mbu. And if I knew what that song was, I'd sing it for you right now. Stick it in all your heads, but I can't think of it. Oh, June, that little she's lost some of her red, probably because of what I'm keeping her in, but that chili red, whoo, active. If I can get her to grow out quick, like Oscars tend to do, she will look very pretty in the 210. Ooh, Scar. Is it beta? Is it beta? Is it plico? Is it pleco? We got window lickers in the house. Its name is George, and I'm going to love him and squeeze him and something else. There was another thing, right? When there, hold him and love him and squeeze him. Mbuna. Mbuna. Yeah, that sounds right. That's how I do it. Mbuna. But I definitely don't say ma in my head when I say mbu. Mbu puffer. What we need is Fantastic Freak to show up and he would tell us. Plot number 5. Oh, laugh out loud, not a lot. Maybe I can't see so good. That looks like an LOT. You're going to put my people in a tank? I've not seen a Native American tank before. Is that not what I should call it there, sir? I don't mean to offend. Native North American. That's right, isn't it? No, no. Jeez. Whip, you should send me some water to test. But I'm also afraid of that water being in the same room as my plants. Yes, right? I mean, Stephen, the Cube tank was store-bought spring water. It wasn't like distilled water. It was store-bought spring water. It should have been, you know, theoretically perfect for the plants because I have a plant light on there. It's only I think 23 inches tall, so it's not like it's super deep and everything just melts away. Now, I do have a microscope of a microscopic bit of hope that outside in at Aquashella said, "Hey, I hear you have some issues growing plants in your water," and I said, "I sure do." And he gave me what I thought he said was veil of some kind. It's a much thinner leafed veil. And he said, try this, see if this works for you. And I said, okay, but you're probably consigning it to death. And I threw it in there, and that was what, 3 weeks ago? And it is still very green. I planted it today. It's been floating since I brought it home. So we'll see if planting it, was the wrong thing to do. But it's still very green and it is still looking very healthy. The root system looked pretty good. So, yeah, maybe. Whip's World. I am working and lurking, but just wanted to say that unless UPS, FedEx are worse, doubtful, I am done with USPS. I don't blame you. That it was crazy. I mean, I get it if it happens once. You know, things happen and mail personnel have bad days or whatever the case might be. you know it was sent to Texas when it was supposed to go to Omaha or wherever, Utah, wherever you said you sent it. But for it to happen twice, 2 times, that's just nuts. And then for it to happen to you coming back the other direction where they just said, it says live plants on the side of the box and we're just going to kick it around for a while to the point where it's so beat up that The only thing that saves it is the fact that it rained for 3 days and the box is so beaten up that they got water. I mean, that's what the hell? You got, I think it must be your end. Maybe mail it from a different post office. I don't know. Barkeeper's Friend is made from rhubarb. That's probably what that is. Rhubarb. I don't know if that does that make it tank safe? Could be. And what I've been told is so is white vinegar. As long as you're not like dumping it straight into the tank, but a little residual won't kill anything. You just don't want to put it to the test. You know what I mean? So we're an hour in. Just to remember, for all the USPS faults, especially around holidays, FedEx and UPS don't have climate control anywhere. So not great for fish. But if you overnight, the others are probably better. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've never shipped anything that's live. The few things that I've done, like the red tears that I gave to Ben Ochart, I drove them both down to him. So I wasn't going to risk it. That's what I'm wondering too, Bob. I'm guessing it is. There's a joke in there. It's 420 somewhere. Now he has a goal. I can only say amazing things with Dave's rare fish. He always hooks it up. The only beef I have is that he charges for the box. He charges for the box. You got to pay for the box too? Dave's Rare Fish is out of Texas, very well known in the hobby, best selection of African cichlids that I have ever seen. Better than, what is it, Imperial something, something Imperial? I thought they were the best cichlid place. Okay, so it's not. I skipped right on by that. Almost missed what Bambi told me, or us. It is not non-toxic. What if he just called it handling, but included the box in the price? Maybe he's just being transparent. Nancy B, what's going on, girl? I've had pretty good luck with the USPS, but then I don't order during hot months. Probably be September before I order anywhere other than dry goods. Probably anything other than dry goods. Bah, ignorance is bliss. For sure and for certain. I live my life that way. Dee Dee? Hewick? I'm too nervous to use it, Bob. But thankfully, our water isn't bad. I use Furch, though, so vinegar is my friend. So I will try the vinegar, I guess, first. Maybe I can use the bartender's friend on the outside because let me see if I can spin this around. I'm going to go this way again so I don't tie up the cord. So I don't know how well you can see that. I can't zoom in because it's a laptop, but You see the rock, the big white splotch behind the rock? That's where the blue paint has completely pulled away. It just flaked off basically. And it is nothing but a huge calcium stain where the paint was. So I'm guessing it must have got wet. It must have leaked or something. Oh, you want to talk fun? You know how I'm forever overflowing tanks when I do water changes? People, people. I did that tank, that tank, and that tank, that tank, that tank, and that tank yesterday. That's the only tank I didn't overflow. I was 1 for 6 or 7, 1 for 7. Because even the 150 was I overflowed it because I had filled it up, hoping that the water would soften up that calcium a little bit. Oi, I get so distracted. I'm watching YouTube or texting back and forth or whatever the case might be. Oh man. Next thing I know, water's on the floor. Like the last time it happened, I'm like, all I could do was laugh at myself. I mean, like, how are you dumb? Are you dumb, boy? Ferts, fertilizers, Bob. Fertilizers. Whip thinks like I do. A bundle package. I still have hard water though. It's city, not well. I remember Michigan well water. Been there. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm well, and it's I think it's around 9. I've um I've done the strip test on it, and I'm not great at telling the difference between colors. You know, the pink is somewhere in that area where it's between 70 and 90. I'm guessing, but it's high. Plus, there's other crap in it. Like I have nitrates and ammonia in mine too, which is odd for well water. I think I'm just getting like fertilizers from the ag fields that surround me into the groundwater or something. It's got to be. Merrick, what's going on, bud? Haven't seen you in a couple days. Playing hooky on me. Haven't seen you in any of the streams. African tetras, Eric. Now I have to scroll back up. I also ordered tetras from Dave's Fish. Mr. Whip. Mr. Whip. So liquid ferts, I can get a buildup from that on top of the little calcium as well. On top of the little calcium as well. Oh, we're doing the stat thing. I'm afraid to look. Dang. You got 40 people in here listening to me stumble on every word that I try to read. Merrick. Deionized water can be used to clean grease. Water is the universal solvent, if I remember my chemistry. Face red, smiling live. Nope, South American. I have, and I'm not even going to try Kitty Tetra from him, and I love them. I call them the poor man's raccoon tetras. That's what I call my Serpe tetras, my poor man's cherry tetras. They're very similar. They're both red. They both have the same body style. But the cherry tetras are $20 a piece, and the Serpes are like you can get them for $1 if you hit PetSmart at the right time. Doesn't look like it. Haven't seen it before, Bob. I never seen that there emoji. I say we all just start making comments with hard to pronounce Latin names just to see how women says it. Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Had to go looking for it, Bob. Unequivocally excellent ideas, Zenny. Eric, I have your address. I'm not doing it. Nope, not going to happen. Does anybody else have duckweed that's really thick and now it's attracting gnats? Does that happen to anybody else? Is that just me? I'm not liking it. My humor is a very slow burn. Mine is just weird. Most people find me offensive more so than funny. Many of the things I find funny, other people are like, eh? I find the funniest jokes are the ones you have to explain after, don't you? Biggest. My favorite Latin name is Spinus penis. And why wouldn't it be? He has a wife, you know. Bop, there it is. Am I that far behind? Holy crap, I'm more than a Rico behind. For sure, Zen. I better pick up the pace a little bit here. For the pine skin. Pine's skin. Nancy? Wee wees Wadwick. This happy Wi-Fi emoji. Nope. That's there still. Oh, you know what? If you try putting in a link, you can't do it. I don't know how familiar you are with the old YouTube, but only mods can put in links. And I can't mod you from here. I can ban you. I can put you in timeout, and I can delete your comment. Those are my options. Test the water outside and throw it straight in the gutter after. The plants I've received from Stephen P. all are doing great in my tanks. Yeah, see, well, that's because you live in California where they have good water. Or not California. I don't know if you're in California. I know you're out west. I think you're in California. Vales are the biggest users, so they will be the best choice for that extremely high KH water. I'm surprised something didn't live though. I don't know which one is that. Anacharis. Anacharis. Is that the one crypt you sent? I think you sent me one crypt. It ain't dead, but it ain't happy. Like it melted back like you said it would, but it is just hanging on by a thread, basically. Hey, we got Mike B in the house. So that's why all Vale faded away in my tanks. My water is neutral to a little soft. Yeah, but isn't, I mean, maybe I'm just being naive here, but isn't Vale from South America? I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe it's Asian. I don't know where it's from. But if it's from South America, that's soft water down there, right? Pretty sure. Once again, I used to know that, and now I forget. J Rock says, I just had an order. I sent out and go around the mail system in a circle for a month. I got a hold of somebody to grab it and deliver it on the other end. Well, that's just crazy. And I assume that's the post office, not one of the UPS, FedEx ones. USPS is my best bet here, according to Nancy B. I'm out in the country, so FedEx and UPS deliver super late, super warm packages here. Yeah, that's what Zenny was saying, that nothing's climate controlled. So unless you get it next day, which costs a fortune, and even then you're going to be all day in the truck. The only problem I've had with the USPS is when the lady didn't put the postage on the box of eggs I was sending Kelly. Whoops. Come on. Come on. You can do it. You need to find a Skylar whip. I have a Skylar. There's a Mrs. Whip sitting right upstairs. I can hear her moving around. She made me bacon. Five of you forgot the thumbs up. Hey, Quirky. Imperial has nice cichlids. Dave's selection is mind-boggling. Okay, I'm going to have to write that down. Dave's, no, see, I've already forgotten. Dave, what is it? Dave's what? Somebody say it again. Nope, I've overflowed every tank. Water hitting the floor is not good water level alarm. No, it is not. Although it is in the basement, so I think that's probably why I allow myself to get distracted so often. I mean, it's become a joke at this point. I mean, everybody's like, hey, don't forget your water, Whip. Well, don't forget your water. Because I do. I forget it every damn time. I'll be sitting here, replying back to somebody, and all of a sudden the tank's overflowing. I've overflowed tanks I was actively working in. Like I took the water down and then I was scrubbing the glass and whatnot and refilling at the same time. And I'm so focused on getting the algae off the glass. I'm not paying attention to the water level. I bet you can't say that, June. Make sure it doesn't have any abrasives in it. Most of the Beekeeper's Friend products have an abrasive compound that can scratch glass and stainless, etc. if you use any elbow grease. Good to know. That's why my tanks were moved to the garage. Too much hardwood flooring. Yeah, I have one, and I've overflowed it twice already, but I have one upstairs, the 90-gallon that has Misfit, the flower horn, my wife's flower horn. He's in that tank all by himself, and he's not very big. He's maybe 4 inches ish. Not a very big flower horn. June, did your flower horns get big from Misfit? Did they get normal size, or did yours all stay little as well? And the TV is. You want to talk about distracted? Jesus, I'm on my phone and watching TV. Woof. And that's a much farther run too. I mean, here it's maybe 15 feet to get to the water. Up there, I got to go through the kitchen, down the stairs, through the fish room, and into the laundry room. and you should hear it. Fat old man crashing down the stairs going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Whip, don't feel bad. When I start water changes, I set a timer for 5 minutes and snooze it every time it goes off, just in case I forget and decide to make a snack or something. Oh, it didn't overflow, thankfully. But I did that exact same thing, that exact same situation. I was filling this guy, and it was about here. And I went upstairs for food, and I was up there way longer than I had anticipated. And I came down, and the water was just to the bottom of the ridge here. And I'm like, oh, that could have been bad. Little did I know that was just the beginning of the end for me, because every tank after that was overflow city. O-Fish, the O-Fish. How you doing, bud? I use a wireless sprinkler controller. It is set to stop the water after 10 minutes. Well, I never really overflow horribly. I mean, I've heard horror stories where people forget that they're filling a tank and walk away completely. I mean, I probably get less than a gallon on the floor, and the only one that sucks is the one upstairs when I've done that one twice now, because that's going onto carpet, which then soaks through onto the hardwood floor underneath, and then drips right down here onto the 150, which is fun. Geek, that's ideal. But I'm not that cool. Yes, you are. You're the coolest chickie I know, next to my wife or my daughter and my sister. I thought you liked to live dangerously. Living dangerously is a delicate balance with staying married. Yep. Yeah, I keep doing that upstairs, and she's gonna hit me with a brick. Well, looks like I need another blue barrel so I can do all the water changes in one day. I actually have two 15-gallon barrels. I could use, I guess, still have two 20s, three 10s, and a 5 cube that needs water change. Yeah, that's and Stephen and I were talking back when he was giving away a uh whatchamacallit, dang it, what do they call the filter? I don't know. My brain is broken. But anyway, we were talking about doing one of those, and I would probably need a couple 55-gallon drums to handle all the water here, right? I'm guessing. I mean, there's over 1,000 gallons down here in just 7 tanks. I mean, that's not June size, but that's pretty big for old Whipper. I love red Phantom Tetras. They're a little more peaceful than Serpe. I will have to look them up. Both are beautiful, though. Red Phantom. Are they the same deep body? Red. Yeah, very, very similar. In fact, they might be confusing it with the red Serpe, because that looks like a red Serpe to me. Yeah, the red and black Phantom, they could be a Serpay. How about that? I'll have to take a look see for them. Um, what was that? You guys see my new logo? Wrong side. I mean, that's just too. I tried to have this made for Aquashella, but I blew it. Susie Q made that for me. Um, it's already a little washed out, and now the light is not helping me. But that's that's basically it. I like it. Came out good. I ordered that one on accident. I wasn't looking at the size. I hit buy and and then I realized, oh, it's 4x6. What the hell am I going to do with that? So if anybody wants a Whips World, whatever that is, sign, hit me up. There was a pause. Funny man. I hear that the cherry tetras are not being exported from Brazil now. Well, they have some kind of strike thing going on, don't they, Elishan? I heard Rod from Predatory Fins talking about that. They can't get anything in from Brazil, not just the tetras. They can't get anything. A 420 tank needs a backlight, a black light, black light. See, how can I say the scientific names when I can't get out black light? I will never dishonor the Rico. It will forever be known as a Rico. Don't an entire Eric behind. What is that? Is that like an hour? My humor is just off timing, so it sounds dumb. Mike. I find of the duckweed, I bet you that was supposed to be if the duckweed gets too thick, it traps a biofilm that sits on the surface and keeps it from being buffeted and broken up in the water, which absolutely draws gnats and such. Okay, and asked and answered. That is what's happening because it is thick. I mean, I don't know if it's thick as top to bottom, like if it's stacking on top of each other, but it is covering, wall to wall to wall to wall, other than where the bubbler is popping up. And KJE, Keith, I ordered from him a long time ago, like a little feeder, the little floater feeder that, so it keeps all the floating food from going into the filters. I decided to throw that in there and then, just spoon out the duckweed so I have at least one hole to feed the little guys in there. I have less duckweed since I am taking care of my niece's two fancy goldfish in their own 40-gallon. They eat all the duckweed. I wanted the duckweed because that is a tub that I don't do any water changes on, and there has got to be, I have no idea, hundreds of guppies in a 40-gallon tote. And it's had one water change probably in the last year, and that's only because I moved it from one tub to another and I didn't use the same water. So I know that makes me bad, but I just I don't know what to do with them. I don't want to kill them, but I don't really have much use for them. And they're just in there taking up space. So I'm hoping the duckweed eats up some of the nitrates anyway. There's also a KJE lily in there, a tiger lily, that died off a little bit. Well, it died off, but I did see through the window of clarity there that it's coming back. So, but it had no lights for a couple of months, and nothing was doing well. Not even the duckweed. The duckweed was starting to crap out on me too. Probably should have let it go. In the tanks where it's thick, I try to stir it up on occasion at least, or point the flow right at it with the spray bar. Yeah, I have none of that. The only thing that's in there, I take that back. There's a Ciche shark. It's not the pro, it's the square one. No, it's the round one. The square one is the new one, right? It's the roundish one. And it's in there just kind of moving water. The sponge filters are the main source of filtration in there. My next aquatic project is to rid myself of duckweed and guppy grass. Oh, guppy grass. There was guppy grass in there too. That was another one that came from Rico, which I think came from Ed. Because Rico threw me a bucket full of that stuff, and I threw it in there thinking that there's no way that's living. Not in my water. And surprise, surprise, it's living. So go figure. Duckweed and guppy grass in a tote works. These tanks, I keep throwing duckweed in there, hoping that it'll take. But like this used to be basically a dishwasher, the equivalent thereof. I mean, I had 3 canister filters on it, 3 hang on the back filters on it. No, this is right the first time. There's a sponge filter in the corner there and a wave maker. So there's a lot of movement in there. There was. I took 2 of the canisters and 2 of the hang on the backs off. My next, oh yeah, I read that one already. Steven says I should get a goldfish that just goes from tank to tank. You guys and your anti-duckweed love. Oh, Zenny has trout goodeids that like the old duckweed too. You know what would probably destroy duckweed? I've never tried it here because I don't know if you can see them with it being dark, but those are 2 red hooks and a regular silver dollar, and good Lord Almighty, they can go through some green. Jenna, don't eat goldfish. Vale are from all over. We have native North American vales. Shut the front door. I didn't know that. I don't know a lot of things. Mostly because I don't keep plants, because I can't keep plants. So I don't really learn up on them. Best I can do is pothos. I got a pretty good sized pothos growing out of the filter on my current 150 that is running. Probably can't see it because I have a fan blowing on me. For those of you playing along at home, this is all pothos. Did you see my Jag? That's definitely a he. He's a pretty boy. He's very handsome. And geek, I'd rather eat the goldfish than keep one in my tank. I love a black Moor. She's my buddy. Total water puppy. Yeah, USPS. Yep, Vale is from all the water. but it's one of the few plants we keep that's fully aquatic. Cannot survive above the water, so it can't be picky about the carbon source. Ah, good to know. I'm going to have to check out if there's local vale here or if it's too cold. I mean, I know there's aquatic plants that survive in northern Illinois. Maybe vale is one of them. But only if the goldfish is live and swallowed whole. Still trying for that emoji. Then you have to call them Wanda. Now the question is Bob old enough to know the reference to Wanda? Bab says, the goldfish are in their own tank. I just move handfuls of it from other tanks to theirs. I've also had rainbows eat duckweed, but not as much as the goldfish. Bambi says, it took my Val forever to get started and happy. pH of 8.2 after gas is off. GH 22, KH 10. Yeah, none of that means anything to me. I just threw out my test strip. I can do that for you, just for shits and driggles. Hold, please. I'm right here. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm coming. Here I come. Coming back. So in time, as it happens, as you can see here, my water blows. Look at how red. Oh my God, can you even see that? What is with the glare? What if I do this? Nope, that's no better. Well, anyway. I mean, that's pushing the end of the spectrum, right? And almost all of that. Like if I was going to guess, like I said, my ability to differentiate colors is a little bit sad. But my alkalinity is high. It's 200 to 300. I said 9. I was wrong. It's between 7.8 and 8.4 is my pH. It looks like I might have like 0.5 chlorine in there, even though there shouldn't be any chlorine in there. My total hardness is right around 2 to 300. My nitrate looks to be about 0.5. Nitrite. My nitrate is looking like it's about 80, and that's after a water change that I just did yesterday. So yeah, my water sucks. I kid you not. I've tested my water out of the tap on occasion, and it is blood red, like whatever the highest setting is for a nitrate, it's already there, coming out of the tap that way. Which you would think the plants would like, you know. Stephen, Corey M used to have a work team of goldfish that moved from, oh, that's right. I remember that. I do. That wasn't that long ago, was it, Dee Dee? That was like maybe a year and a half ago. Hell, it might have been longer. Time goes by so fast anymore. Goldfish also eat a lot of the plants, except Anubias and bulbitis. So maybe not great for just duckweed if you have other plants. Bab says the duckweed goes to the goldfish, not the goldfish going to the other plants. Don't have to catch them all the time. Danny V! Sorry, I'm so far behind. What am I? Oh, yeah, definitely 21 minutes. Barb, yeah, your way is how I do it. Just net it out of the tanks and dump it in with her. Except for the turtle tank, that duckweed goes in the garden because they're gross. Hey, Jeremy, I sound like a stoner describing my water changes. I haven't been a stoner in a long time. What do you think of I don't know what that is. What's the common word? Come on, Jeremy. Work with me a little bit. Anybody? Anybody know what that is? Oh, the Brycon. Are those the ones that are basically little piranhas? When I first got the Python hose, I overfilled the very first time using it. I'd say between 5-10 gallons, but thankfully I had just removed the carpet in my room. Yeah, I had carpet like a throw rug down here. Not a throw rug. What do you call this? Area rug that I had cut to go around. I have two pedestals that hold the upstairs from crashing down on me down here. And I had that had to go because I can't seem to not overflow tanks. If I'm one of the coolest chicks, you know, you need to get out more. I'm good. I'm happy with what I got. Captain, what's going on? I added it up the other day, and I'm at almost 600 gallons, which isn't much for some of you crazies, but it's a lot when you start talking about pre-treatment. Yes, which is something I'm fortunate enough not to have to do. Although maybe I should. I don't know. So let's just see. I think I figured this out once before. Once I'm up to the full potential. Well, let's just do with what I got. Plus 7 plus 130 plus 150 plus 55 plus 210 plus 150 plus 120 plus 90. Yeah, just over 1,000, 1,055, which you cannot see that either. 1,055. So I'm a little less than double. I am remembering the time I pronounced to the guy that ran the small shop. He made great sport of my effort but failed to tell me how it is best pronounced. That's what happens. Ross Dingle, what's going on? Depth charge is back. Danny V, Bambi, Geek, Bob, all saying hi. Ooh, this will get us down the list a little bit quicker. You can have my old filter system. I changed all the elements inside. I plan to bring it to the Clash, and I can give it to you there. Very easy to install. Oh, you mean yeah, the name of the system that I can't remember? It's not DIY. What is it called? RO system. Jesus, stupid brain. That is very nice of you. I appreciate it. Although I don't know that I'm coming, so I'll know more later, hopefully, before we get there. We still got 40 days or something like that, right? 3G, what's going on, bud? And Brenton, I missed you. Geez, I hope I didn't just flash right through a bunch of people that came in late. Hashtag feederfish. The Zen Ginger note, if it ever seems there's some more nets, make sure there's not a bag of potatoes you forgot about in the pantry. Might have experience with that. The smell will eventually alert you, though. No, it won't, because I cannot smell. Although I can stink. See, I said it again. I like duckweed, just in a reasonable amount. Yeah, I hear that's the problem. As it grows so fast. It doesn't grow fast here because my water is so bad. But, I mean, it did spread. I only had a little bit attached to the guppy grass that Rico gave me, and now it's a solid mass across. 3G says he's pretty hard on the green too. We're talking plants, right? Do tell, 3G. Oh my God, rotten raw tomatoes. Potatoes is the worst stink in all the world. We had a roommate left them in the kitchen cabinet. You haven't been around chickens then, have you? I'm told those are the worst smelling thing in all the world. I'm off to mow the back by the alley and weed eat. It's 92 degrees. Well, J Rock, I will probably be done by the time you get back. I've got 15 more minutes and I got to hustle along because I'm still too far back. But stay safe, stay hydrated. Barb, I actually got too much water lettuce in my CO2 tank now. And I've started letting the duckweed grow between because it's easier to scoop out without all the roots. Jags love guppies. Would make great tank mates. Yes, yes. I mean, that's always an option. The Oscar, I have an arowana that's only about 5 or 6 inches right now. That would find them delicious. But it makes me feel bad to know that I raised them, and everything, and then I just kill them. I don't know. That just rubs me the wrong way. 38 watching over 40. Yeah, we're probably all over 40. I have black patches inside my Python. I should clean it. Yes, I have tried that. I have yet to find a good way to clean the pythons. how did I do it last time? I took it upstairs and I filled the tub with a 1 to 4, 1 to 5 ratio of bleach and water and dumped it into the tub so that it was high enough for me to start a siphon. And then I ran the end down into the basement, into the sump, and let it drain for a while. And then I plugged it and let it sit overnight. And that seemed to do a pretty good job. It didn't take it back to um, that see-through gray, though. It made it more of a hazy white. But now it's back to being a nasty brown. I don't know how it's not like you're going to run something down in there and clean it like a straw. I keep my Python in a closet, never letting it see light until you use it. Greatly reduces the black patches. Yeah, mine is in the basement where there is no natural light at all. I mean, it's in the laundry room, so the light comes on. So I don't know how much that contributes, but Branton says I keep my Python. Oh, that was Branton. Why was I thinking that was Babs that said that? That makes sense. Mine is usually out. Good idea. I have one-way pythons. I use one to fill all the tanks and another line to drain outside. Haven't had mildew in the line yet. That's exactly what I do as well, Nancy, but I definitely have black patches in both. Like I have one that fills and then one that empties, and a lot of times I do it at the same time. I'll drain this down to, if you can see it, you see that blue patch right there? That's my usual goal, to get it down to here. Once it hits there, I start filling it up, but I also leave the other hose in that's emptying, but it fills faster than it empties, so I figure it's an extra maybe quarter of the water that is getting changed out. So maybe 60% water changes twice a week, trying to keep the nitrates down. But it's hard when you have nitrates in your tap water. So Rainbow Tetra. Rainbow Tetra. Oh, that's very pretty. Yes, very nice. That would be awesome to have that a big school of those, kind of like a metallic sheen to them with the red and green, yellow. That is very nice. Except I just realized I don't have a closet in the garage. Maybe if it sits out in the sun for a while, would that kill the black patches, I wonder? I don't know. It might grow them. Whip asking for help when he's basically an Eric behind. Yep. My Python hangs out in a utility tank on the porch outside between changes. I don't have mildew either, but it's typically hot as fuck. And so I'm guessing it dries pretty fast. Yeah, I don't know that mine ever actually dry. Do you leave it like uncoiled? Because I coil mine and hang it, and you can see every single coil has water in it. I just let the whole thing turn black so it's a uniform color. Yes, and my drain hose tends to stay out in the sun too. Nancy, this is why Eric had two screens up. So if he had a time sensitive question, he could check in. Yeah, well, I'm not that good. I'm not even half that good. Nancy, same here. One drains, one fills. The main hose is good, but the 4 foot piece is old and has the black stuff in it. 4 foot piece. Yeesh. My tank. Yeah, that's how I do it too. My fill hose is 50 foot long, and my drain hose is 25. JT, what's going on? Quick hi. I'm sure you're long gone by now because I'm so far behind. I really only use it for the small desk tank and when sand needs a little cleaning. Not your usual day and time. Nope. No, not even the new day and time. And for anybody who has did not catch that early on, um, due to financial burdens, I have given up my Friday slot and I've moved to Saturday. So, so you'll have to do the math on your end for wherever you're living. 2 Central, 2 to 4. Today I did it on Sunday only because we were doing the NFL fantasy draft yesterday right through that slot. So didn't want to throw that off. Jack, he will be moving to Saturday. Up there you go. She beat me to it. All right, gotcha. New local Austin, what's going on? Up and not crying. I don't know what that means. Were you hurt? Was I hurt? What's going on? Oh, if you seen the short I made about the outside bin in space, fish, I know what they are finding. Buenos Aires tetras. I took plants from all tanks and so I had to wait until they grew out a bit. Well, there you go. And George RB3, what's going on? Got a few new bloods coming in here at the last. Well, it wasn't for you, but it is for me. Although I'm not that far behind anymore. Back home from the family vacation. Best way to clean a Python hose is to replace the clear hose with black hose. I've not seen any black spots in those since. That's kind of like Steven's philosophy of just letting it turn black, right? It's in the same as raising chickens for food. Chicken people eat the eggs and those become baby chickens. Yeah, but they don't because they don't fertilize them with the male. Those will just never ever become chickens. Geek, but then how do you know when a noisy cat, a Cory cat, gets sucked into the in and starts extreme water sliding? Geek, but then how do you know when a noisy Cory cat gets sucked in and starts extreme water sliding? See, I can do it. You could put the other end in the bucket. Yeah, that was a plant. Aw, you can just make it up. I do have said bucket for that purpose. If I ever, because the Python doesn't always have the gumption to pull some of the finer stuff or the heavier stuff out. It pulls the fine stuff out, but these guys have some pretty solid poop sometimes. That's too much starting and stopping for me. I need to obsessively watch. Barbara, yeah, but they eat plants, and that's a huge no-go for me. I didn't really research them, and I regret it now. LFS said they'd take them back. So a lesson learned. Geek, that's true. Can't clean what you don't see. Nope. coiled up in the basin of the sink portion, but I do lift the python hose up as the sink is draining it all to make sure there's almost nothing left. I do that too, and yet somehow I end up with water in it. Fish room fever making the rounds this weekend, buddy. What's going on? Good to see you. Just about ready to hang it up. 4 minutes. I can't believe I went 2 hours with no help. That's amazing. Hi, Whip. Hey, Nano. Hola. How are your brownies? Oh, they're cooked. Nancy, they made a wonderful midnight snack. Hey, I think I've reached the bottom of the chat. Where's Mike B? Start singing to me, buddy. Best breakfast. Hi, James. Hey, got to run. Bambi's got to go. Well, you're taking off right when we're all going to take off. So I appreciate you swinging by, and I appreciate the kind words. Got to run and feed the animal kids, take care of you, and take great care. One, guys. Have a great one. I can. Damn. I should just end now. Hi, James. Whip. From what time to what time are your tanks lights on? Okay, so most of them are on from 2 o'clock. Like, as you can see, these have turned on since we've been talking. I can't go that way. Whee! Hold on. See, that light is on, believe it or not. That's the 3.0. And then those are the Finex Stingrays. So they go on at 2, my time, which obviously they went a little early. Oh, no, it's almost 4. What am I talking about? They go on at 2. This guy doesn't go on till like 5:30 because I was getting diatown algae and they're like crazy, crazy. Take care, Bambi. Hello, Fish Fam. Hey, Dix, you're coming in right at the tail end, girl. Barbara, Mandy, hey, kiddo. Have a great week, everyone. Sue Ann was here. Were you here the whole time? Davo. Now that it's over, I'll say hi. And Uncle Smiley, I'll say it again. Super glad you're home, buddy. And with that, I think, well, we can wait a minute or two. Anybody got any last minute things they want to say? Any announcements? Zenny, what do you got going on? Where are you going to go next? Who's up? Hey, Brenton, it's my pleasure. I appreciate everybody showing up. I mean, 38 people, that's more people than I've had in a long time. So maybe it was just because, you know, I was sharing space with Andrew on Fridays. You know, the divide and conquer isn't the best way to go when you basically have the same people. At least you made it. That's right. Davo, he's moving to Saturday now. So mark your calendar for next week. That's right. Saturday, 2 o'clock Central. Depth, you have a good night. Enjoy your Sunday evening. There's a lot of good streams coming up. I don't know if Skip is going to go at 5, but he might. He's trying to get back into the swing of things. And then Susie and Fam, no, not Fish Fam, Tennessee Fish Mafia, and then Kenny E and Danny. So you got a lot of people coming up here. Oh, and we got Aquarium Co-op coming up. Oh, and Father Fish. I didn't know that. Somebody's dinging me. I wonder, was that one of you guys? Brenton says me and Kyle are going before before Danikin, it's my first live stream. I'll probably make an idiot out of myself. Well, it can't be any worse than this, Brent. So you and Kyle, I assume that's outside in, and you're going to be streaming over. Not that it, don't take that the wrong way. I'm just saying you're going to be going at the same time as Tennessee Fish Mafia. So I will not be able to attend because I am on that panel. I like the new Saturday time slot. I'll be able to watch the whole stream now. Yeah, for the people who work on Fridays, but then people are usually busy on Saturday. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Benji coming in, sliding in the back door. 'Twas me being dingy this time. Wasn't me. Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Correct, Mr. Fever. That's prime time for me to crash a stream. And you're invited, bud. I didn't send out anything today because it was kind of a pop-up. I mean, I did know I was doing it, but it wasn't my normal time. I mean, not even noon time. It's the wrong day. So I just I kind of soloed it today. Anyway, we are definitely over the 4 o'clock hour Central, so we're going to say goodbye. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will catch you next Saturday if I don't see you on Tennessee Fish Mafia later tonight. That is 7 o'clock Central, so 8 o'clock Eastern. All right, so take care of yourselves. Make time for the people in your lives that matter, and we'll talk to you later.